Hey guys, this is Andrew with MyWatchAddiction.com bringing you another Kickstarter watch review. Today we're going to take a look at the Believer series from Anytime Watch Company. Before we do that though, just a few quick things to go over. First and foremost, the watch of the day is that Xeric Trappist 1 that I received in yesterday, or reviewed in yesterday's video I should say. 2, if you guys are not a subscriber and you're viewing this video and you want to be notified in the future of any new videos coming out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you can get alerted on when I release a new video. And number 3, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, have a current contest going on for a chance of you guys of winning one of my watches. I finally scheduled a date for that. We're going to do that contest on March 31st, 2018. Also in that video, I'll do an overview of my whole watch collection because I know it's something that you guys have asked to see before, so I figured now's about time to go ahead and do that. But today we're going to take a look at this Believer series from Anytime Watches. So let's tear into this Believer by Anytime Watches. So as you can see, comes in just a cardboard box. Now, right out of the gate, first thing, if I had to be disappointed with anything so far, according to the Kickstarter campaign, I'll post up a picture here, they were supposed to include a different case with this for all backers. It did not come with this watch box. It actually came with a pretty sharp looking case, but they did not send that out for whatever reason, but that's not a big deal. So if we open this guy up and take a look what comes with, first, comes with a little manual, kind of neat design. It's got the technical information about the watch as well as operating instructions and warranty information. Comes right with it. Anytime-co is the website for Anytime Watches for this company. But we're not here to look at that. We're here to look at this watch. So you can see it's pretty big, pretty bold design. Now, when I first came across this Kickstarter campaign, I initially just went right past it because from the pictures, the primary picture that they use for their Kickstarter campaign is a blue version of this watch. And when you looked at the picture real quick, at face value, it looked almost plasticky, almost gimmicky. And I've got to tell you, I'm pretty surprised at the feeling of quality on this. It's a lot nicer than it looked like in the pictures, and that kind of makes me happier than I would have been if it was cheap. But like I mentioned, it looked really cheap, so I didn't. I had to second guess myself as to whether or not I wanted to back this watch. But I'm kind of glad I did because the watch actually turned out better than I was expecting it to. Very, you guys know me, I like heavy duty watches, and this watch just feels very solid. This does have a 22 millimeter silicone band with steel inserts. I know I've talked about my preferences on bands before, and this doesn't meet it, but I kind of like it on this watch. It looks pretty sharp. You can see it's molded right into the lugs, and you know, you can change that relatively easily. Now, if we want to talk a little bit about this watch, it does have a screw down case back and push in crown. It does not have a screw down crown, which something kind of confuses me with that in the respect that this is rated to have a 10 ATM water resistance, but without a screw down crown, I'm not sure if I would necessarily trust that. The material is 316L stainless steel. The size of this watch, the diameter is 47 millimeters, and the thickness on this watch is 14 millimeters thick. So it is a pretty good size watch overall, both in thickness and size, or diameter, I should say. The glass on this watch is an anti-reflective, scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. The finishing is polished and brushed CNC finish. Now, one of the things I like about this watch is if you look at that case design, it's just kind of a really, really interesting case design between the brushed and the polished parts of the metal. Now, as you can tell right off the gate, or out of the gate, this is a chronograph. This chronograph is powered by the Japanese MIYOTA OS2A movement. Now, that is the same movement that was in the watch that I reviewed on Friday, that Arctic Silver Renegade. This guy also, for the dials, at the 3 o'clock position, you have the 24-hour dial. At the 6 o'clock position, you have the second hand, and at the 9 o'clock position, you have the minute counter for the chronograph. And then as well, you have a date indicator right there at that, we'll call it 4:30 position. I'm actually, for the price that I paid for this watch, pleasantly surprised with how it turned out. I think it's a pretty decent watch. Recognize it's from Hong Kong. That's where this company is origined, and that's where this watch actually came from when it was shipped to me. The shipping alone, which I didn't pay for, that's one thing I'm just going to point out real quick. The shipping alone to get this watch here that the company paid for as a part of their Kickstarter campaign was $89, according to the postage on the package when I received it. Now, this watch itself, when I purchased it as a part of their Kickstarter campaign, I paid about $175 for it. So not an expensive watch, but I really like personally I really like the design to it. I think it's just a very clunky, very obnoxiously oversized design with some pretty neat design elements to it. The indicators are recessed, or indices are recessed, so you can see that dial's got quite a bit of depth to it, which is something that I really enjoy in watches. And I'm definitely interested to see the lume shots of this watch towards the end. All right, guys, so that was the Believer from Anytime Watch Company that I received in from a recent Kickstarter campaign. Overall, I think it's a really, really neat watch. Not an expensive watch, definitely affordable, but just the case styling, the lugs as well as the silicone strap on this watch. Really, really liking it. When I thought at face value when I first saw the Kickstarter campaign that I was going to absolutely hate it, but I was pleasantly surprised with this one. So definitely, guys, let me know your thoughts. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Just post up in the comments below and let me know what you think about this Believer series from Anytime Watches. If you have any questions for me, you can always reach out to me at MIYWatchAddiction.com. And lastly, if you want to see what's on my wrist on a daily basis, don't forget you can follow us on Instagram at Instagram/watchaddiction.us. Thank you, guys, and have a great week.